Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predictions for Manchester United's game against West Ham at Old Trafford. It's Saturday, 3 o'clock kick-off. So score prediction, I'm going to go with 2-1 to Manchester United. And the goal scorers for Manchester United, I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo. And West Ham's goal scorer, I'm going to go with Pablo Fornals. So that is your predictions. Tomorrow, at some point, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for the game. Manchester United are coming into this game against West Ham on the back of a 3-1 win against Brentford. It was a good second half performance by Manchester United against Brentford. Manchester United were very clinical. All three of Manchester United's goals came in the second half. The goal scorers for Manchester United against Brentford were Anthony Elanga, Mason Greenwood, and Marcus Rashford came off the bench and scored. Marcus Rashford finally ended his 3-month goal drought. Brentford's goal scorer was Ivan Toney. Manchester United were poor in the first half against Brentford. Brentford totally dominated that first half. They showed great intensity and they had some very good chances. De Gea made some fantastic saves in that first half. Man United were lucky not to be 2-0 down in the first half. But reflecting on the win against Brentford, that's put Manchester United just 2 points behind West Ham. So if Manchester United beat West Ham on Saturday, Manchester United will overtake them. Manchester United have got some players out at the moment. Recently, Cavani picked up an injury. So too did Luke Shaw. It is unclear if they're going to be available for this game. Paul Pogba, he's still out with injury. Not so long ago, Rangnick provided us with an update on Pogba. He said Pogba is set to return after the international break. Earlier on this week, Pogba returned to training. There's a good chance Pogba will be leaving Manchester United in the summer. Not so long ago it said Paul Pogba told Manchester United he wants to join Real Madrid in the summer, but there again it said PSG is the most likely destination for Pogba. Recently Pogba held talks with PSG. Pogba's out of contract in the summer. Revert back to last month, the Sun came out and said that Man United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that would have made him the highest paid player in Premier League history, but Pogba denied being offered the contract. So yeah, Pogba won't play any part in this game against West Ham. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's unavailable because he's been out with COVID. Well, he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick anyway. Diego Dalot is our first choice right back under Rangnick. Scott McTominay, he picked up an injury against Brentford, but hopefully the injury is not too severe. McTominay played very well against Brentford. Defensively, he was good. He got in some good positions. And he was involved in the build-up to 2 of the goals. Eric Bailly obviously won't be playing any part in this game because he's at the African Cup of Nations at the moment. Bailly will be leaving Manchester United this year. Revert back to the other week, Damasio came out and said that Bailly agreed to join AC Milan. AC Milan wanted him on loan, and Bailly said he's extremely interested in a move to Italy. The last game he played for Man United was the 3-1 win against Burnley. That was the final game of last year, but he came off injured in that one. Lingard, he recently picked up a knock, but he doesn't really get in the team anyway. West Ham, they lost their last game to Leeds 3-2. I was very surprised at that. I was expecting West Ham to beat Leeds. Jack Harrison got an hat-trick for Leeds against West Ham. West Ham, though, did knock Leeds out of the FA Cup. West Ham beat them 2-0. West Ham are 4th in the Premier League. They are enjoying a very good season to their standards, and West Ham are in the last 16 of the Europa League. Like I mentioned on the preview, West Ham have got a good squad. You know, they've got Pablo Fornals, that's very good. Benrahma, he's a good player for West Ham. Benrahma's not available at the moment for West Ham because he's on international duty. Jared Bowen, he's a good player as well. Manuel Lanzini, he's good. Michail Antonio's good. They've got Yarmolenko, who's good. Nikola Vlasic, he's good. I think they brought Nikola Vlasic in last year. They've got Craig Dawson. West Ham got Craig Dawson from Watford. Well, at one point West Ham had him on loan, and then obviously after that West Ham decided to get him permanently. They've got Vladimir Kufal, that's a good midfielder. They've got Declan Rice, he's a very good holding midfielder. Manchester United have been linked with him. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said Man United were confident of landing Declan Rice for 100 million in the summer. Man United are in search for the centre defensive midfielder. Rice has remained loyal to West Ham for a long time now. He's been at West Ham for over 7 years. He's under contract with them until 2024. Before West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he actually never got in Chelsea's first team. West Ham, of course, have Mark Noble. He's been a very, very long-serving player at West Ham. He's actually out with injury at the moment. Aaron Cresswell, he's a very, very good left back. I think he's one of the best left backs in the Premier League. They also have Issa Diop, that's a very good centre back. Ben Johnson's a good defender. Kurt Zouma's also a good defender. Kurt Zouma's out with injury at the moment. They've got Ogbonna. He's not available for West Ham at the moment. He's out for the season. They've also got Winston Reid, Ryan Fredericks. Thomas Souček, think he's a midfielder, very good player. He's Thomas Souček. He's certainly made an impact. I do know a couple of the goalkeepers West Ham have got. Of course, they've got Areola. They've got Fabianski as well. I think Fabianski is West Ham's first choice goalkeeper. So there you go. Let me put into the equation that West Ham lost Sebastian Haller. They also lost Felipe Anderson, and that Frederick Ibsen left them. David Moyes is the West Ham manager. David Moyes deserves credit. He's doing really, really well in his second spell at West Ham. David Moyes has been the West Ham manager for over 2 years now in his second spell. Moyes has got a contract with West Ham until 2024. Moyes obviously didn't do well in his first spell at West Ham. Before West Ham, Moyes obviously managed Sunderland. Sunderland got relegated under Moyes, so reflecting on that, Moyes ended up resigning. Before he managed Real Sociedad, obviously he got sacked by Real Sociedad, didn't do well there. Of course, he managed Manchester United for 10 months, so he only enjoyed a short managerial tenure. Manchester United finished 7th under David Moyes. That's Lewis. We've finished in the Premier League era. A while ago, Moyes obviously managed Everton. He was a very long-serving manager at Everton. He was Everton's manager for 11 years. He did well at Everton. And before then, he managed Preston. On Saturday, David Moyes will be reuniting with Manchester United. Ralf Rangnick, he's been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 2 months now. He's lost 1 game so far as Manchester United manager. Earlier on this season, Manchester United lost 1-0 to Wolves at Old Trafford. That was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. There has been some good performances under Rangnick. There's also been poor performances as well. Rangnick is Man United's interim manager till the end of this season. When he first came in, it said Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But if Man United don't finish in the top 4 this season, the consultancy role for Rangnick will be in serious doubt. I can't see Ralf Rangnick getting the Man United job on a permanent basis. Prior to the Brentford game, don't forget, Rangnick announced Manchester United's new formation. The new formation is the 4-3-3. I think we played the 4-3-3 against Brentford, and we also played it last weekend against Aston Villa. Seems to suit our standards, does the 4-3-3. Obviously, Rangnick scrapped the 4-2-2 formation because obviously that formation wasn't working. Revert back to earlier on this season, obviously reports were coming out saying that Rangnick is already losing the dressing room at Man United, and it did mention that 17 Manchester United players were unhappy and want to leave. And reflecting on that, it said Rangnick was already under pressure. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. But he has made changes since he's come in, because he brought 3 additions in. He brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Challens in as a sports psychologist. Prior to the Brentford game, it said Manchester United could yet appoint their new manager this season. Who will be Manchester United's next manager? Pochettino's been linked with a managerial role at Man United for a long time now. Not so long ago, it did say that Manchester United could miss out on Mauricio Pochettino, despite Pochettino being Man United's #1 target. The Telegraph said Man United face competition for Pochettino. The other week, reports in France said that Man United were in secret contact with Mauricio Pochettino, despite Pochettino not being Ralph Rangnick's preferred choice to take over at Manchester United. Manchester Evening News said earlier on this season that Pochettino's move to Manchester United was almost done. And it said Pochettino will leave PSG by June. Well, PSG have identified the replacement for Pochettino, and that's Zidane. Earlier on this season, it said PSG agreed terms with Zidane. Earlier on this season, it said Man United were prepared to pay the $10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. Pochettino has like a year and a half left on his contract at PSG. I think he has won a French Cup with them. He's a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. He's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial, because before, Pochettino enjoyed a 5.5-year managerial tenure at Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. But back in 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. Let me put that into the equation. And at one point, he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager. Before Tottenham, he managed Southampton. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure at Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and before then he managed Espanyol. Not so long ago, reports in Italy said that Manchester United made an approach for Simone Inzaghi. Atletico Madrid were also in for him. Simone Inzaghi is the Inter Milan manager. Inter Milan appointed him in last year. He recently won his first trophy as Inter Milan manager. His contract at Inter Milan expires next year. Obviously, before Inter Milan, he managed Lazio and he coached Lazio's youth. Erik ten Hag, he could be Manchester United's next permanent manager. Manchester United are looking for their 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers so far since Fergie left. We sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club, so in that aspect we've got to accept that. Alex Ferguson is the greatest manager of all time. He won 30 odd trophies at Man United, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away at Man United because he didn't win out in his first 4 years. Alex Ferguson was a long-serving manager at Man United. He was at Manchester United for around 26 years. Since Ferguson retired, Manchester United have spent over £1 billion. And we've brought over 40 players in since Ferguson retired. And obviously, you know, Rangnick is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. So, reflecting on that, none of this squad is Rangnick's. Obviously, I've been talking with you about Cristiano Ronaldo today, haven't I? Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo was furious for being substituted against Brentford. Rangnick defended his decision to substitute Ronaldo. Ronaldo offered very little against Brentford. He played a part in the second goal and he had a chance when he hit the crossbar. Prior to the Brentford game, Ronaldo missed Man United's last 2 games because of injury. Cristiano Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer if they fail to qualify for the Champions League. Last week, Cristiano Ronaldo gave an interview. And obviously he's backing Rangnick to do a good job at Man United. Ronaldo said, "I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th. He said, "Finishing below 3rd is unacceptable." Earlier on this season, Ronaldo held crisis talks with his agent Jorge Mendes about his future. And he said Ronaldo's ready to leave Man United if the club's next manager isn't to his liking. Earlier on this season, he was targeted by PSG. Since Ronaldo re-signed for Man United, he's scored 14 goals in all competitions. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears a number 7 shirt and he's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further years. The best player in the world overall. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Like I say, players are going to depart the club this year. I think Martial will be leaving. There's a good chance he'll be going to Juventus because it's said that Juventus are interested in taking Martial on loan. Man United are asking for up to 6 million in loan fees. Juventus have held talks with Man United regarding Martial. Martial wants to move abroad, he's made that clear. Because recently Martial rejected loan offers from Tottenham and Newcastle. Cavani, he will leave in the summer like I've mentioned, because earlier on this season Rangnick revealed Edinson Cavani wants to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season. Juan Mata, he's leaving the club as well. Man United alone in Amad Diallo out. Lingard will leave. On my next video I'm going to give you some news by the way on Jesse Lingard because he has been linked to a Newcastle. Van der Beek's going to leave because he doesn't get enough opportunities. Matic is also going to be leaving the club. A good chance Pogba will leave in the summer. Do you think Telles will leave the club this year? I'm hearing that Barcelona have been interested in him. Jones and Bailly will leave this year and Man United will look to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. It's not long now until the January transfer window shuts, is it? I'm hoping we can make a signing before this January transfer window shuts. We want a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. So now guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.